How do I turn this around? Achelo fiachelo de Maria Chelo runa che bobo ego nararun. Bendición santeros mayor y menores. Hi guys. So I'm not looking my best today because I basically I'm just waking up even though it's late. I had to take a nap after work later. So a thought came to me, and also somebody was commenting on the post on Facebook about being gay and being a santero or being in Lukumi. So I just wanted to address that. And the biggest thing is the whole Ifa Babalao thing and Omo Anyas and people wanting to play the Anya, but they're gay and they can't find anybody. So I understand if you feel if you're gay and you feel that's a calling for you to be Omanya, like you feel like that is an ache that you have and you want to learn. Um, I want to say it's going to be difficult to find someone who is going to be who's going to be willing to give you that skill of learning how to play the omwanya and being a homosexual. Why? Because of our customs and our traditions. Do I agree with them? Personally, as Diego, I don't, but I respect our tradition and our customs. Um, and you can also play abekula. You can do it, play the drums unconsecrated. And a lot of people do hire for that. Oh, I got laser guys, so my face is kind of beat up a little bit. But yeah, there's other offices within the Lukumi faith that you're able to take up, such as playing weedles. Homosexuals in the religion can play weedles. They can do the chekere. Um, there's other things you can do. Oh, you say you play keyboard? You could play keyboard for this orishas. For Santero, sometimes Ochun wants a piano played for her, any orisha. There's other offices within our religion for homosexuals. You just can't limit yourself to saying, I just want to do the bata. Learn how to cook for the orisha. People are hired just to cook for the orisha, and aborishas are able to do that also. That you don't have to be a santero to know how to cook for the orisha and get paid for it by santeros or whomever. With some other offices. Uh, Alcinist. If you are good with herbs, you can learn the ache of the herbs for the orisha. And um, herbs are basically if you want to say, blood force of the orisha. Um, Without Osign, there is no Orisha. So you can learn the herbs of the Orisha, and also Aborishas are able to learn the herbs of the Orisha. You just have to learn from your godparent. There are some herbs that different Ilays don't use because of their customs and their Rama. Remember, every house is different, but you can learn the herbs of the Orisha and work the religion that way. You can actually make a living if you're really good at it. So study herbs. What's another one? Now, I do see people, and this is an office. It was created later on, but I do see people who make elekes, and I was one of them. I was an aborisha, uninitiated, not a santero, but I made elekes and I sold them online. I had a lot of really cool patterns for different caminos, things like that. And I sold them online, and I was actually doing pretty well as like a little side gig. The only thing about that, and I was an Aborisha, guys. And now that I'm a Santero and understand our customs and our traditions, if you're old school tradition, old school Ile, then it is customary that the godmother makes your eleke. Okay? I did not know this as an Aborisha. I think Aborisha should know that. Even though it is your skill, and this is still It's not wrong. I didn't do anything that was wrong as an aborisha, selling eleques. But if you go back to our old custom, the eleques are made by the madrina, the godmother, for whatever orisha you're receiving. Um, it is customary that way. Now, we have gotten artistic people such as homosexuals. I don't want to say every homosexual's um, artistic, but you know, we have people within our faith who are skilled and have the time and the ache to make eleques and sell them. Um, but you know, it depends how you want it. My eleques, I know my maso eleque de Odun. My godmother did not make it. Um, But my first telekids I received, a godmother of mine did make them. She did not buy them. She spent time. There's certain prayers that are said over the eleques. There is a beautiful ceremony for that. If you have not received eleques that way, it is a ceremony. You should not just walk in and they just throw their leques over your neck. There's an actual ceremony for that. It's beautiful. You'll go through it once in your life and you'll never forget it. If it's done correctly, you'll never forget it. It's beautiful. Um, so there's that office, eleques. Went off on a tangent, as my professor would say. There are singers. There's singers, so you can become a singer. This is an Aborisha office also. If you don't have to be a santero to do it. You can learn the songs, get really good at it, and start singing. For tambores too. For tambores, but you have to be really skilled to sing tambores because you have to know all the different types of cantos de santo, the ones that greet the orisha, the ones that call the orisha, those are buya. But you just have to know certain songs. So you have to actually know what they mean. So that office is really deep. But if you come from a family of lukumi, I mean blood family, that you can be around them every day, because it is a different language which you have to learn, and your godparent has to be very skilled with that language too, and not just sing the song from how you hear it, but actually speak to the orisha while you're singing. What does that say? I make electronic dance for the orisha fuse. That's awesome. That gives aleos and aborishas a chance to enjoy hearing the orisha songs, to like house music. And I've heard that before, and I enjoy it. I love it. It's like a free dance. Speaking of dancers, uh, you can't be an aborisha and be a mount. Uh, it's not an office. That office is only for santeros, and again, there's a big ceremony for that. Um, what's another office? Making paños that cover the orisha, making different cloths that cover the soperas of the orisha. You can do that. You can actually be an aleo and do that, uh, and just sew different paños and sell them online. So what I'm getting to is there's so much for homosexuals in Lukumi. We have our own little world, just like on Harry Potter, like when he went over to the witch world. We have our own little world. So don't get hung up on, oh, I'm gay and I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. Speaking of which, you're gay and you have Congo spirits and you feel like you need to be scratched. Or maybe you do really have to be scratched. And there's actual paleros who are, their ganga is fine with any type of sexuality. But there are some Ngangas that are not. And when we get to that, this is a whole different video, but I'll go into it briefly. When we get to that, it's not so much your padrino who doesn't want to scratch you, okay? So don't hold that against your padrino. It's not him, it's the fundamento inside. It's the person uh, inside the Nganga that does not agree and therefore does not, he doesn't, it's not all about respect, it's about their customs. Maybe that fundamental comes from uh, a different, mananzo that doesn't agree with it for whatever reason. It's not, it's a personal thing. But don't hold that against your godparent ever. Um, that they won't scratch you. Just find, if it's for it to happen, the fundamental will find you. Okay? The fundamental will find you. Olofio Lodomari will open the gates. Elegua will open the door for that to happen. So don't get all hung up on I'm gay and I can't do this. It's fine. There's tons of things for you to do. Um, yeah. So that's what I have, guys. Um, there's tons of things for us to do within our faith. Off to do other things. Stay strong. You too. Thank you. I'm actually done. And you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. Achela ocha. I go.